After we finished our run across the United States, we came back to Alaska, and that was August 2014. That was the month that William Thompson came out as the CDC whistleblower, in which he confessed that he and his buddies had trashed the data linking the MMR vaccine to autism. And that was also the month that I went back to work with my employer, a healthcare employer. They had just instituted a mandatory flu vaccine policy, and I told them in no uncertain terms, was I going to get that jab? I essentially said it's against my religion to do business with criminals. And they consulted with my supervisor and asked whether they should fire me at the time. And my supervisor said, no, don't fire him. He's a good counselor. So they kept me. But it's been a tense time in the last 5.5 years. And the more I learned about vaccines, the more passionate I became about it. I wrote the book Jabbed, How the Vaccine Industry, Medical Establishment, and Government Stick It to You and Your Family. And I was very active on social media. I was putting posts out all the time on the subject, essentially because I wanted to save lives in other people's families, just I wanted to do in my own. Eventually that led to increased tension with my employer, but they said I was free to continue speaking online. They said, you do that, we don't have anything to do with that, and we're not going to get involved in that. Well, that lasted until just a few weeks ago, when I posted the blog separating the COVID-19 with the COVID-19 psyops that's driving it. And someone complained to my employer, and on April 2nd, I went to a meeting and I was fired. And it was not unexpected. We knew that was coming for a long, long time. And because we knew, Chris and I got together about 2.5 years ago and said we need to come up with an alternate form of income. So we created an e-commerce business called 57 Peaks. We mainly design leggings, and these are our own designs, mostly our own photographs. We put a lot of love into these designs, and many of them originated in Sitka from the nature that exists around here. So it's really a celebration of everything that is good and clean and natural and wonderful in nature. It's a nice counterpoint to the darkness that I often fill my mind with when I'm talking about corruption in the vaccine industry. So it was a way for me to kind of maintain my sanity when I'm delving deep into very deeply pathological systems. Well, our online store turned into a brick and mortar store a couple of years ago, and this summer was the summer that we anticipated that it would fully replace the income from my full-time job, which I no longer have. But because of the current situation, the tourist season is going to be deeply, deeply damaged this summer. Of course, we can't predict how bad that might be, but it's not going to go well. So we now find ourselves in a situation where we've lost my primary source of income, and we've lost a good share of what was going to be our replacement income. We've invested thousands and thousands of hours into our e-commerce store called 57 Peaks, 57 Peaks, because Sitka sits on the 57th parallel. We still have our brick and mortar store downtown, and we'll see how many people come to that. But at this point, if you appreciate the work that I do in raising awareness regarding vaccine industry corruption, I would invite you to go to our store at 57peaks.com. Take a look at our leggings and hoodies and jackets and jewelry and bags and those things. And any purchase that you make will help me continue to do the work that I do, because what I'd really like to be doing, if I wasn't worried about money at all, would be talking about this problem so that I can continue to save lives, because I really believe the work that I have done is instrumental in saving lives. And of course, all of us who are involved in this work know that's true. So that's where we're at, and I know a lot of people are struggling, and there's big needs out there all over the place, and our heart goes out to you, to them, for everything that they've got going on in their lives as well. And yeah, we're in a difficult situation, but we hope and pray that goodness will prevail and we'll get through this.